move.
你们好，你们好啊！
这是我们的区长，
这是我们松江市人民政府的区长，陈晓峰区长。翻译一下。
This is our director
欢迎你们到松江来创业啊！
他是来自于
爱尔兰。
爱尔兰
啊。
这位是来自于
加拿大，
这是我们的咨询顾问年轻小伙然后这位是
来自希腊。哎，来自希腊的为什么想到会在这里创业？
因为有很多机会，because China is very interesting culture as a person, and China now has many opportunities and many interesting opportunities.
他说现在中国有很多机会，很多的整个一个经济都在不断的发展，所以他觉得在中国能做很多事情。
现在我在中国5年。Yes, and now first year I start my company.
这他第1年开的这家公司。
他现在在这里，在中国是读研还是
就是已经工作了，他就是这个创业的公司的老板。
谢谢你们，
欢迎你。
谢谢。
What kind of business?
We do trading, we do branding and marketing for companies who want to import in China. And also we want to introduce high quality Chinese products to Europe.
他现在在做一个贸易，他现在做两边的事情。第一，把中国的品牌的把外国的一些品牌的东西引入到中国，帮助外国企业来做中国的品牌。就是把这个外国企业引入到中国，外国的品牌引入到中国。第二方面呢，他把这个中国的企业。
I moved to China 2 years ago, and I started my 1 year ago. Started my company, business consultancy company. So I help the British companies source Chinese clients to invest in England, and I also help some British companies to source some products from China.
Particular, what kind of products?
So mostly consumer goods, consumer electronics, consumer goods, those sort of products. So basically, just introduce Chinese products into England, high quality Chinese products, and be able to bring them abroad. Yeah. And that's the main focus of the business. But my main focus is consultancy, where I just want mostly Chinese clients to be able to invest abroad, help the British companies, investment companies, and sourcing Chinese clients. So I live here, it's much easier for me to communicate with the Chinese people, and then I just link between the British company and the Chinese clients. So I'm the middleman who will be able to link those two parties to a contract.
So what kind of help do you get from those people?
From Kudosbay?
Yeah.
So Kudosbay, for example, Kay helped me to set up my company. So I registered my company here in Songjiang. So Kay helped me greatly to register my company in Shanghai. So I found him through WeChat, and he really helped me to establish my business here, which is necessity to do business in China. So I really needed the first box to be ticked, which was to set up the company. They provided me with opening up the company, and then also after that the services, aftermarket services. So they provide me with my rentals, and they also help me with accounting, everything of that sort related to business. They provide the services.
In your opinion, is it harder for you to set up a company in Shanghai than in Britain?
Actually, it is a little bit harder, but once you have an agent like here and a company like Kudosbay, they do a great job themselves. They do a lot of work themselves to help you, assist you with any matter possible. So to set up a company in England is much more easier, definitely.
Why?
Because you can can set up a company online, just fill out a form, pay a fee, and then just sign a e-signature. Definitely you need a lot of documentation in China, in Shanghai, but once you have established your company, it's not that difficult. No.
Next.
Yes, what I need to say, what
you
the
just like
purpose
to
of my business.
Yeah, introduce your business.
So we do trade projects for companies who want to import in, their products in China. And actually we focused on Chinese products, Chinese good quality products, who want to enter the European market.
Drinks, you mean alcohol or
No alcohol, because we try to find products that differentiate us from the big market to avoid the competition. Interesting products, not so common products, but to avoid the competition.
Well, so what kind of you mean the Chinese good quality products you mainly buy and sell in Europe?
I cannot tell you all my secrets. I will tell you only one. A good business now, a good business for me for Chinese products is machines. Now, for example, the machines that is made in China, the quality is not is much better than before. The price are not reaching the prices, are not so expensive as the prices in the European Union. So, write down, this is a secret, okay? You must not tell everybody. So this is a good opportunity. So you can find good quality, value for money. The money that you are going to pay, they're going to give you good quality. And for me, this is for all of us that we are here a good opportunity, because many people outside of China still think that Chinese products are competitive only on price, but now it's not this anymore. Chinese products are competitive on quality also. Do you agree?
Yes.
Anyway, so our main focus, what we do to finish, I want to finish. Actually, what we do, we are a small company, and our main course is, that's why we choose on project, to find the principles that make projects done. Find the principles that make dreams and projects done. Because this is what we believe. I believe when I started the company as a person, and the people who are building the team, that the most important thing to do is to find your purpose. This will help you to improve yourself and to help the society around you. So how we do it is by executing projects. Every project can be a dream if you are a person. So we want to study the principles, how to make these projects done. This is what we do.
And why you choose to set up your company here?
In Shanghai, in China, in Songjiang. In Songjiang, because I trust Kudosbay. I trusted Kudosbay that it's a reliable company, and it proved a correct decision. They are very reliable, and Kudosbay is like a family for all of us, that we come from another country. Why I'm saying this? Because whenever we have a problem, even if it's not a Kudosbay problem, a problem that is according to their business, there are people here in Kudosbay that they will go outside of their way and they will try to help us. So for us that we are here, we know we have a business partner, but also we know that we have something more. They can help us more, extra. So that's why I'm in Songjiang. And I'm thinking maybe I can rent an apartment here, it's a little bit far.
I like that.
You're welcome.
David，
你们都会说英文吗？
部分不会，你可以用中文。
不可以。I'll speak slower, maybe translate.
Yeah, sure.
It'd be easier. My name's David Allen. I'm with Zephyr Consulting, we do business English training. So that's
You can say,
more detail.
You just introduce it, and I will share your steps to them after you.
Okay. Our focus is to help companies that want to internationalize, so it's companies that want to maybe be more accessible to foreign companies or to expand abroad. Maybe they've acquired a company abroad and want to better service that relationship. So what we do is we get to work with them, understand their needs, and help them better facilitate that by providing targeted training with people who have experience in their field and using our training methodology to facilitate that learning process.
You just mentioned it's mainly about English.
It's corporate business English training. So we're not focusing on just learning English. It's specialty skills training. So if you're, for instance, working in manufacturing, or if you're working in the services field, and you need to learn the language of that industry, you need somebody who knows that industry to provide the language. So one of the challenges I faced when I came to China, my background is finance. I'm a CFA charter holder. I did my Master's of Finance actually here in Shanghai. But entering the market, you need to know the language. You know, the industry. Even if you have the industry, you need to know the language here. So, and the language of that industry in that language. So this is the challenge I face. So it became more apparent to me that there's an opportunity for this, which led to me establishing this company.
I would like to ask you
Yeah.
if you get some important thing from us from Kudosbay, and it's very grateful to you.
Absolutely. Kudosbay has been brilliant in just making the process of setting up the company very easy. And it's the WFOE entity is quite a complicated and difficult process to set up. It takes from beginning to end about 5 months. That's not easy to set up and start operating your business while spending 5 months just to get able to start it. You know, if talking about a comparison to Canada, you know, you can get this done in a few days. So this is a huge hurdle. But China's been making great strides to make the process much more accessible, which is very important and very appreciated. But kudos based on an extra mile of making that just easier to navigate through. You know, Kay in particular just going way over the top with me. In particular, I'm sure for many others, you know, just outside of working hours, you know, answering questions, quick to respond. That's, you know, it's people like Kay that make the difference.
Yeah. All right. I'm Teddy, and we are into e-commerce in Africa. Yeah.
You mean like
Online shop, yeah.
Taobao,
Yeah, in Africa. So what I do is like I'm here, and then I go to the market. I source all the goods and the product, and then I send them to the warehouse in Africa, so as to make the shipment and the delivery day is very short for them. Because we have one in Africa right now, very big. It's a Chinese guy who came to Africa to establish that, but he doesn't have a warehouse in Africa. So when you buy the goods online, he has to take the goods from China and then ship to Africa, and it takes a lot more time. So we are in to source all the goods and then send them to Africa. So when they buy, we can send them to the customer in a short possible days. Yeah. So actually we are in e-commerce, yeah. And also we run digital marketing for companies. Yeah. We're trying to talk to some Chinese companies so that we can run some advert for them online, Facebook, Instagram and stuff. Yeah.
How many years have you started?
Well, we started in a year. Yeah, 1 year now.
1 year. And is it quite different to run your business in Shanghai than in your own country?
Well, the thing is, you know, we buy all the product from China.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we source all the product from China. Yeah, we don't manufacture anything, so we buy everything from here and then we ship it to the warehouse in Africa. So we buy it.
I mean, do you run your own business or other kind of business in Africa before?
Like, yeah. I used to work
can you
with.
compare the two experience. I mean, to run business in Africa and then run business here in Shanghai?
Well, running a business in Africa is very easy.
Very.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, it's very easy because that is why I don't sell my product here. I sell all my product in Africa. You understand? Yeah, I buy the product, I sell it in Africa. I make my profit in Africa. Yeah.
What is, how can I understand, so when you mentioned it like very easy, so particularly how easy is it?
Like how easy?
Yeah.
Well, you know, e-commerce, like easy in the sense that, you know, Africa is a new emerging market, you know, coming up, and so many Chinese are, you know, going there to establish themselves, you know. So me being an African, and I think it's an opportunity for me to, you know, get into the market also. So that is why I think it's very easy because now their purchasing power is great. You know, the youth are buying, they are understanding the online business and stuff, so which is great. So that is why I think it's very, because in China I can't break it, like Taobao, JD, you know, it's very hard, you know, very, very hard to break it. Taobao, JD, Pinduoduo, you know, yeah, I've tried all of them, you know, so it's a huge market, huge to break in China. That is why, you know, I took it to Africa for the same thing, yeah.
So as we are a TV, a TV meeting, so
Yeah.
you might need to shoot some video of your working.
Yeah.
So what particular do you do in Shanghai when you run your business? You just sit in front of a computer, or you also need to go outside,
I
go
go
to the
out.
market and see, compare different kind of goods and communicate with different type of Chinese local merchants?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so like what we do is we go to the market, Iwu market, sometimes we go to Guangzhou, you know, and Iwu is very close to Shanghai. Yeah, so we go to the market, we compare products and prices, you know, yeah, like that, and then we buy them at a very cheap possible price, and then we send them to them. Yeah, so that's what we do.
So, excuse me, so you mean the products you buy here is mainly sold in Africa, so back in Africa, and the customers, people buying your products, is it mainly Africans or mainly immigrant workers, Chinese?
Not, they are all Africans.
Mainly Africans.
Exactly, yeah.
So what kind of products do you have? The hot products or hot sale products. You have a list.
A list of.
Can you give us some examples of what kind of products your customers like most?
Well, so far our top selling product is this body. You know, I don't know how to say, but like, you know, ladies want to be slim. You know, so like we have this tie thing that they use to tie their stomach. Yeah, that really sells a lot. And this we have this phone accessories. Phone accessories, covers. Yeah, they really sells a lot. Yeah, phone accessories, because the youth in Africa, they are really getting, you know, too much into tech. You know, like phone, digital stuff. Yeah, so it's like, and sneakers. You know, yeah, sneakers sells a lot. Yeah. Before I used to ship sneakers, but now because of the too many fake, you know, Nikes and stuff, so you know, it's a little, you know, problem now to ship them. But yeah, so I'm trying to divert, you know, from the sneakers side, because Nike, if I ship, get to the port, they have to stop it because they said it's not the right product. Yeah, so that's a little problem. Yeah, that I'm facing right now. But before I used to sell a lot. Yeah, I used to go. That was quite good.
So what kind of help do you get from the Kudosbay when in the past?
Yeah, because well, in the past I used to you know, buy ticket all the time, come, source for product, go. You know, that is cost. You know, like that is really expensive for me. You know, so what I thought was, okay, what if I have a business here which can, you know, which that would be very easy for me to go out anytime that I want to go source my product. And Kudosbay has been a very, how do you say that? They have been very helpful like really, really helpful, you know, in setting up my business. And anytime that you need any help from them, you contact them and they are there to help. Yeah, anytime. So far, yeah, thank you. Welcome.
Yeah, my name is Kobe.
Kobe.
Kobe. Yes.
Like Kobe.
Like Kobe Bryant. Yes. Anytime I say Kobe, they say Kobe Bryant. Oh my God. And I'm from Ghana. The name of my company is Shanghai Link Advertising Company Limited. I'm into advertising, and most of my clients that I have are some in China, and most are outside China. And I would say some of the countries are like in Nigeria, Cameroon, Togo, France, Germany, Brazil, England, and most we work on WeChat. What they do is that they contact me and they say, oh, Kobe, this is what I want. I want you to get this design for me because I'm a designer. So I want you to get this design sorted out for me. So I get the design done. I send it to them on WeChat. We communicate. If there's any changes or there's anything we need to do, they call me, we work on it. After working, I send it to them and they look at it. And if they want me to print, that is why I'm here in China. If they want me to print and give them good quality or maybe good service, what I do is that I contact them, and when everything is okay, they send the money to me. I do all the necessary printing I need to do here, and I send it back to them wherever they are.
I mean, your clients are all over the world.
Yes, they are everywhere.
So they can contact you by
WeChat.
Maybe by online.
Online, yes.
And only after your product is printed, you
I send it to them.
to all over the world.
Yes, to wherever they are, but I ask them to pay for the charges. I don't pay for it.
Yeah. But why you choose to print it in Shanghai?
Yes, I decided to do this in China. Not actually, I was working in Shanghai. Is because I realized that one, China is one of the fastest growing economy in the world, and secondly, again, in China, or I'll say in Shanghai, most of the prints we have here, the quality and then the lesson is of high quality. So sometimes I remember when I was in Ghana before I set up my company in China. Sometimes I work for clients. And they ask me that, oh, why don't you do this printing for me in China? I have to be calling or looking for a print house or a Chinese, what do you call it, an industry where I can do printing, communicate with them and send the work to them, and it makes it a whole lot of problems. So I decided to okay, then why don't I just move into China, then have a business here in China, and I can work for clients here from China. And if they want me to print for them or they want me to do any kind of work, I can do it for them and I'd send it to them from here. And they can pay for the cost, which is more better for me than me back in my own country doing the job and sourcing the client here in China. It's a whole lot of problem. So basically, most of my clients, WeChat has made it so easy that most of the work we do, it's mostly on WeChat. And when it comes to print and everything, I get the print house. If I need to go there, I need to go there myself. I go there, I present the final product to them, that this is what I want to do. And I show them the sample of what I want. And they print, and I have to check that the quality is of what the client wants. And I send it back to them. So before I could do that, I ask them to do a part payment. And if that part payment is done, and I'm successful with it, before sending it to them, they have to do the final payment. And then I now send everything to them. So basically, most of the clients I have, I wouldn't say they're all in China. Few are in China. I would say 20% or 15% are in China, and the rest are all over. So, and I work from the office most of the time, or sometimes I come, not all the time. It depends on the workload.
Hi, I'm Alex, and I'm from Uzbekistan, one of the Central Asian countries. And if I tell you about myself and my business, my background is corporate law. I was a corporate lawyer, practiced a few years, and I came to China 2012. Before that, I've been running my company in UK also doing some corporate consulting, company structures, company registration, etc. And after coming to China, I've been thinking to combine my interest and background. So I established a company, a trading company. So we have two different services. One is corporate consulting, still in corporate law, to especially fresh entrepreneurs who want to enter the Chinese market but do not know how to register a company, or they don't know the rules, etc. Not only China, actually. My company is called Silk Road, Shanghai Silk Road. The reason why for this is we want to be the part of rebuilding the Silk Road, which is initiated by Mr. Xi Jinping, China's initiative. So we're taking part in different competitions, different tenders in my country and also in the previous Soviet Union countries, Russia and all Russian-speaking countries. So this is the service side. We consult between like small and medium companies, especially, or young entrepreneurs who want to start. And then the second part is trading solutions. We provide logistics service, and because the Silk Road is rebuilding, now there's a lot of construction going on, especially in all these countries along the Silk Road. So people buy a lot of heavy machinery in these countries. So we advertise all this equipment and heavy machinery which is produced in China. People want to buy from China because it's close, especially this heavy machinery. It's heavy and it's very expensive. Once they used to buy from United States, or they used to buy from Germany for very expensive prices. But if something goes wrong, they cannot find the spare parts that easy. I wouldn't say the Chinese, brands are really good or better than that, but in a sense that it's very close to us. It's in the Silk Road, along the Silk Road. So all of the, the building companies, they want to buy from China because it's close and it's cheap. And also, of course, the guys here mentioned that Chinese quality is, getting better and better every day. So now they're competing with all these big brands like Cat and everything. So this is what we do. I still have my company in UK. I still do corporate consulting to different clients outside China. But I have combined, so to say, my background and my interests in China, in Shanghai.
So just now you mentioned you provide corporate consulting business. So I think it should be much easier for you to set up a company and run your business in Shanghai. So why you need help from the Kudosbay?
Well, basically, I knew the laws. I knew the laws because that's my major. But China is one of the places you don't want to make any mistake, because there's a lot of things that you have to fill in Chinese. That was my barrier. Although I knew the laws, but my Chinese language is not to that standard. Is not that proficient. So I came to China and compared a lot of companies before Kudosbay. Spoke to many companies in Guangzhou, in Yiwu, in Shenzhen. What I liked about Kudosbay was they answered all of the questions in one meeting, in one sitting, basically. Even when we communicated, I didn't have any other questions left. But with other companies, I asked something, and then after a few minutes, there's something new. But they're not telling everything. There's always something hidden. And about the prices, they tell you some price, and then there's different price. So that's why I liked their frankness and no hidden fees, etc. And also they spoke good English. So another thing. And Shanghai, of course. Shanghai is one of the places in China you want to be if you are a businessman. So yeah.